Hi, it's Michael from DNA here, and in the next few minutes we're going to learn about the homophone checker in Claroread. Now this is a tool which has an equivalent in the Sounds Like tool in Text Help. If you don't have either of those programs, there is a free homophone checker online at www.homophonecheck.com, which works along the same kind of principle. So have a look at this video, get an idea of the strategy you might want to use with the homophone checker, and see if it helps improve your writing. So the basic idea behind a homophone checker is that it's a tool which is going to look for words that have the same sound as other words but have different meanings. The difficulty is that when Claroread or Text Help or any other text-to-speech engine reads words back to you, if they sound the same as other words, it's going to be very difficult to identify mistakes. So I've got this test sentence to see if Claroread's homophone checker will pick up on the deliberate errors that I've made. So if we have a look at this H-phones tool, short for homophones, and we click on show homophones, a lot of blue words are going to start to appear. Now, if you're using the homophone checker in the context of your essay, do remember that the words it's flagging up as blue, it's not saying that they're definitely wrong, it's just posing the question, is this definitely the right word to use at this point in the sentence? Now you don't have to just stare at these blue words and try and puzzle it out yourself. You can now go and click on the check button, and we can see that within the context of the spell check window we now have this tab called homophones. Now what's nice about this interface is you get the context, so you see the use of the word the homophone checker has pulled up in the context of the sentence you've used it in. You get a definition of that particular word here on the right hand side, and you get a number of alternatives that you can look through, and every time you look at a different alternative you get different meanings down at the bottom and different definitions on the right hand side of the screen. Now I'm pretty sure that I've used the correct I there, and you might spend a lot of time clicking on this button, the ignore all button. Now the point of that is that there may be certain homophones, like I for instance, that also sounds like I and I captain, that you think I never make that mistake. So it's important to be able to remove these high frequency words quickly. If you click on the ignore all button, what that means is it isn't going to check for I anywhere else in your document, so you won't have to keep clicking through I over and over again. What this means is you can scoot through your document faster than you think you can, despite all the blue words that have been highlighted, and you may then encounter some words where you have used the incorrect version of a word. But then when we get to my use of the word to here, if we have a look at the meanings as well in addition, we can see that I've used the wrong to here because I'm saying I walked to the shops. So we can look through the different options, and we even get a little graphic to help us out here. There's me walking to the shops. We know this is the correct one and we can just change it at this point. Now if I click on next, we'll move on to the next word. And another example, the incorrect there has been used here, and so there's the suggestion for the alternative there. In this instance we don't want to use THEIR because we're not talking about the shopkeeper's bread. We're talking about whether there is generally any bread in the shop. So I'm going to change this, and it has actually picked up as bread as well, because bread sounds exactly like bread as in breeding a thoroughbred racehorse. So we're going to leave it on the loaf of bread, and now I'm comfortable that I've made all the correct changes, and if I click on close we can see that I've now got the correct use of language in that sentence.